Okay, all right. Can everyone see and hear me? All right. All right. Well, listen. Hello. Buenos dias, or buenas tardes, or buenas noches, depending on what time of day you guys are watching this video. It's me. I'm Professor Cañedo, or El Profesor Cañedo, and this is actually my introduction video for everybody for the fall 2014 semester. So whether you're in the Southwestern College of Mexican American Studies 142 class, the San Diego Mesa College Chicano Studies 141A class, or my Grossmont College History 108 and 109 classes. This video is for everybody. This is my introduction video for all of you, just to give you a sense of who El Profesor is all about, the man behind the plan, so to speak, the man with all the answers, all of that fun stuff. But I will have more specific videos for each and every class. So for this first week, excuse me, for this first week, I will of course have more specific videos for everybody detailing what's going on in each of the classes in terms of the syllabus, the exams, the assignments, discussion board, anything and everything pertains to the class. So for those of you in the Southwestern College and Mesa College classes, I'll have those videos ready for you coming up tomorrow, Tuesday. And for those of you in the Grossmont College classes, I'll have those videos ready for you coming up on Wednesday. So in the meantime, for this first day of the fall semester, please just look over the classes, look over the syllabus carefully, and of course make sure you get the textbooks for the classes, for the respective specific videos I have for each and every class. I will of course show you what the books look like. So stay tuned for either tomorrow or Wednesday for more details about that. That is, if you haven't had a chance to go to the bookstore yet. But for those of you who already have the books, you're definitely ahead of the game and ready to get going with whatever readings might be assigned for the week. But in any event, let me go and tell a little bit more about myself and give you a sense of what El Profesor is all about. And as the week unfolds, there will of course be more and more information about each of the specific classes. Oh, and one other thing too, definitely, since I'm introducing myself to all of you, then definitely please introduce yourselves to me, to each other. Go to the discussion boards, go to the introduction forums, whichever class you're in, and please introduce yourselves. Tell me, tell your classmates a little bit about yourself, your background, your interests, where you're from, because I know a lot of international students. I definitely get that quite a bit, and I know and I'm guessing that for many of you in my Grossman class, many of you are the Iraqi Christian, the Chaldean. So definitely those of you in that category, please tell me a little bit more about yourselves. You definitely have a very compelling story to tell. So just give me a sense of who you are. And likewise, too, anyone else from the international group. So whether you're from Korea, Russia, Somalia, South America, England, you can tell I got my England jersey. I'll talk a little bit more about what this is all about here. So wherever you're from, whether you're from here, you're from the South Bay, National City Chula Vista, which is my background, you're from other parts of California, the U.S., or other parts of the world, please just give us a sense in terms of who you are, your background, what makes you tick, all of that fun stuff. All right, well, let me go and tell a little bit more about myself, my background, my teaching, my interests, and that'll conclude things for this introductory video. All right, as I mentioned, I'm Oscar Cañedo, and I've been doing this teaching business for getting really close to 20 years now. So I think when coming up in 2-3 years is when I'll hit the 20-year mark for teaching. I've been teaching at all three of these schools for quite a while. I've been at Southwestern off and on since '97 actually, and I've been at Grossmont continuously since '97. And I've been at Mesa College nonstop since the year 2000. The things that I teach, I do for Southwestern and for Mesa College, I do the Chicano Studies, Mexican American Studies classes. Even though the names are different, for the most part, the classes I teach at both of those are essentially the same. So whether it's talking about Cesar Chavez and the farm workers, or the Aztecs, the Maya, the revolt of the Spaniards, the U.S.-Mexico War, those are topics I've been into a lot of detail for Southwestern and Mesa. So for those of you in the 142 and 141A classes, you'll definitely hear more about that as the session unfolds. For Grossmont College, I do, of course, mainly the U.S. classes, and I also do the California class. I did section 124 last semester. I'll do another section coming up for the spring of 2015. Hard to believe 2015 doesn't seem possible. That's coming up for the spring. But for the U.S. class, I cover the wide range of topics, whether it's the arrival of the colonists from Europe, from England, of course, and of course the Native Americans, slavery, manifest destiny, the various presidents, whether it's Andrew Jackson, James Polk, and of course Lincoln. We get into that in the History 108 class, and in the History 109 class we get into the more modern topics, whether it's World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Watergate, Lyndon Johnson, John F. Kennedy, and on into the more recent eras of Ronald Reagan and Bill Clinton. Those are things we'll be looking at in a lot more detail in the History 109 class. But again, when I give you the specific class-specific videos coming up in the next couple of days, I will of course dig deeper into the topics that we'll be exploring. As for education, my hometown and all those other fun elements. As I mentioned, I'm a native of the area of the South Bay, born and raised in National City actually, and I lived in National City all the way up until about 2 years ago. I'll explain more about that in just a second. But in terms of my education, elementary school, junior high, high school, all within the South Bay. So Kimball Elementary, National City, Hilltop Junior and Hilltop High School in Chulista, Go Lancers, and then as for education, stayed in the area. So my BA is actually in anthropology from UCSD, and my master's is in Latin American studies from San Diego State. So I guess you can't really get more local than that. Now, as I was saying just a few moments ago, I lived in National City all the way up until about 2 years ago. I'm no longer in National City. In fact, I'm no longer in San Diego County. Some of you who have taken the class with me before know about this, in that I actually live up in Riverside County. I live in the little community of Winchester, or French Valley, Winchester. The names are kind of interchangeable. It's a little patch of unincorporated Riverside County, north of Temecula and east of Murrieta, right off the 79. So if you're taking the 79 in toward Hemet and toward Menifee, it's in the area roughly where you get close to where Lake Skinner is located. So it's a growing area. Not much in terms of shops just yet, but there is a CVS in the area. There's a Carl's Jr. There's a Farmer Boys burgers. So as long as it's Carl's Jr. and Farmer Boys, that's good enough for me. And a Chevron station as well, and a pizza place too. So can't forget about that. But even though it's a far cry from San Diego, from the South Bay, I really enjoyed out here, and thankfully, since I don't usually have a lot of on-campus classes, maybe one or two per the calendar year, it's definitely helpful in that excuse me. And I just have to go in usually for meetings, pick up my mail, and of course I can conduct my classwork here. In terms of conducting the class, I use a lot of Apple devices. So right now I'm recording on an old iMac. I have a MacBook Air, and I have an iPad, and I think I've got an iPod Touch as well. So I guess. I guess I'm definitely making the Steve Jobs estate quite happy. But I love Apple equipment. It's really easy for me, very user friendly, and it's worked great for me for quite a long time, for over 10 years. And I'll continue to be a supporter of what Mr. Jobs' stuff is all about. Okay, let's see what else I should mention here. In terms of outside interests, sports, pets, things of that nature, let me talk a little bit about sports. You're probably wondering what's up with the England patch. Well, you can tell I'm a soccer fan, but I usually follow soccer mainly during the World Cup, so I was really excited to watch what happened. Of course, the English didn't quite do too well. I was actually rooting for Argentina. I've got an Argentina jersey, and most likely I'll wear that a little bit later on during the course of the semester. But I was hoping England would do a little bit better. They've had some struggles the past few tournaments. They haven't won the tournament since 1966. I think it's going to be quite a long time before they even come close to winning it. But but let's see to do a better job coming up in 2018 when the tournament is over in Russia. Baseball, I actually like the Dodgers, so I know many of you are Padres fans, kind of grumbling about that, but I like the Tigers too, even though they're a little bit, they're starting to slip a little bit in the American League Central. I think the Royals already have a 2-game lead again on them right now. Basketball, I like the Clippers. Football, I'm not really a big football fan. I'll follow the Lions. Uh, but I'll watch a game here and there, but not much. But the sport that I'm really into is hockey. I'll definitely have some hockey stuff on when we get closer toward the start of the season. But I'm a big fan of the Ducks and the Red Wings. I like the Rangers too. I used to go to a lot of games in Anaheim. I haven't been to a game in 5 years, but I'm actually going to be in Detroit later on in the fall in November, and I'll try to see a couple of games during my trip there. For those of you in the Grossmont classes, I'll still be with you. So most likely I'll talk a little bit about my trip when we get to the second week of November. Anything else I should mention in terms of outside interest? Oh yes, in terms of furry friends, I'm a big fan of cats. I actually have three cats, and normally the Gray Persian, London, she's one of my Persians. She runs around here, but I think she's already in bed right now. I'm actually recording this video in the evening, the Sunday evening before the start of the semester. But I'm sure next time I record a video inside, she'll be running around and she'll pop in and say hello. When I record the videos outside, my other cats like to be more outdoor cats. So most likely when I record videos outside, you'll get a chance to meet Nick and Sniffles. Sniffles is my other Persian, and Nick is my big white albino cat. He's quite a character, so you'll see what I mean when you meet him a little bit later on down the road. Okay, let's see what else I need to mention here in terms of interest, background, and all of that. I think that pretty much covers it. So as the semester unfolds, or the session unfolds, depending on whether you're in the one of the 8-week classes or the regular semester length classes, of course, in my announcements, I'll not only mention Okay, I'll not only mention what's going on in the class, but most likely I'll say things about what's happening here, or that it's anything with that the cats have done, or I might mention something about sports. I might say might say something about the playoffs, especially if the Dodgers and the Tigers are in it, or I'll say a little bit about the hockey season when that starts in October. So don't be surprised if in the announcements I say a few more tidbits about myself as the semester unfolds. But clearly, announcements for each of the classes are going to be important in telling you what's coming up during the week, upcoming due dates. So definitely, everybody, no matter which class you're in, pay attention to my announcements. My announcements sometimes tend to get a little bit wordy, and you might find yourself from time to time maybe tuning out or missing something. But please don't do that. To me, the announcements are an extension of if this is an on-campus class, and I give you detailed information about what's happening about a certain event, whether it's a due date or I need to make a change on assignment, and maybe I'll talk for about 5-10 minutes talking about some nuts and bolts issues. So clearly, to be aware of what's happening in each class. Look at my announcements, but also look at my videos too. I'm going to have a lot of videos, no matter which class it is. So as long as you keep track of both the announcements and any videos that I post, you won't get lost anywhere in the class. And in terms of contacting me, no matter which class you're in, obviously you can contact me at any of my email addresses, some my Grossmont groups. You've got my Grossmont email, and from my Southwestern group. You've got my Southwestern email. Those of you in the Mesa College class, you can definitely use my Grossmont email to contact me. But what I want everybody to start getting into the habit is, as we get more into toward the end of this week or the beginning of the second week, then get into the habit of start using Messages for Professor. In each class, I've got the messages section called Messages for Professor. Just go in there, find my name from the list of the people in the class, click a couple of buttons, and then voila, you're ready to go. So type in your message there, and in the Grossmont classes, be sure that you send it to Oscar Cañedo, instructor. In some cases, my name is listed twice, so always make sure that you choose my name that has the instructor listing, not just my name, but without instructor. So as long as you choose Oscar Cañedo, instructor, as the recipient, then then your message will get to me with no problem at all. In terms of responding, I try to reply as quickly as possible. So during the school week, Monday through Friday, expect within a 24-hour period in which I get back to you. During the weekends, maybe closer to 48 hours, but for sure during the regular school week, if you write to me on say Monday at 2 p.m. By Tuesday at 2 p.m. you'll have a reply. Most likely you'll get the reply Tuesday at about 8:30 a.m. or 9 a.m. I try to post the announcements for each of the classes between 8 and 10 a.m. So it varies sometimes. Sometimes I'll give the announcements at say 7:45, other times at 9:50. So just be aware that everybody, there's about a 2-hour window in each morning in which I'm going to post the announcements. And to start things off, I'll have announcements virtually every day to get the semester going. But as we get more and more into about the 3rd, 4th, or 5th weeks, you can expect announcements on roughly a 3 times a week basis, either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Friday. But for sure, my point is that announcements will be a regular feature in the class, and I'll be checking in with you constantly, at least at least 2 times a week, but for sure in the early parts of the semester, about 3 times per week. Okay, with that, I think that pretty much concludes it for this introductory nuts and bolts video. Again, I'll have more specific videos for each of the respective classes coming up soon. So again, for those of you in the MAS 142 and the Chicano Studies 141A, I'll have specific videos for you coming up tomorrow, Tuesday. And then for those of you in History 108 and 109 classes, I'll have videos for you coming up on Wednesday. And again, any concerns or questions, use my email, or better yet, start using messages for Professor. And want to make sure that that everything's under control. You get all your books taken care of, and you find your right parking places, and and you got your classes okay, no problem. So we'll use this first week to definitely get acquainted with everything, get settled in, and I would say coming up by more so Wednesday and Thursday this week, I think we'll probably start getting into the rhythm, no matter which class you're in. So that's it from here. That's it from my home headquarters here in Winchester. You guys have a good first week. Hang in there. Just be patient. Don't get upset if things seem to go wrong right away. It's just the first week. Take a deep breath. Relax. And I'm sure by Wednesday, Thursday, and especially Friday, things will begin to settle down and you begin to get into the rhythm for the fall semester. All right, everyone. So it's great to be your instructor. It's great to be El Profesor, and I'll see you guys again. And I'll see you guys again soon with more videos coming up during the rest of the week.